A licensed dating coach has spoken out, and he's been saying what I've been saying all along. High caliber and high status black men are slim to none. I've been saying this. I have been saying this for the longest, and people have argued me for it. Even other men have argued me for it.
Hey girl, my name is Anwar White. I'm a dating coach for black and brown women, and obviously there's been a lot of controversy and discussion around what you should settle for and what you shouldn't settle for. And I just wanted to come on here because I know that I have a lot of women out there that are looking for specific things and they have a specific list, and I want to offer to you what that list looks like when you actually put it into practice. Yeah, so many of my clients, many of the women that I talk to want a guy with a grad degree who's 6 feet or taller and is making 6 figures. And so I ran the data and the numbers for you so that you understand what that looks like and per city. So what that looks like is that if you're dealing with all guys, 13% of guys have grad degrees, 15% of guys are 6 feet and taller, and 9% of guys make 6 figures or more, right? If you're just focused on black men, then only 8% of black men have grad degrees, 17% are 6 feet and taller, and only 2% make 6 figures or more. Now, please understand this is what they call the talented 10th or the cream of the crop, and so normally, if you're a black woman, roughly a third of the guys will be checking for you, but these guys, it's only going to be about 10%. So what does that mean? It means that if you are checking for all of these guys, all men, then 1 out of roughly 5,500 will be a match. If it's just black guys, it's 1 out of basically 33,000. So I wanted to break this down by city because I had a video earlier that discussed actually what it looked like to date and what the worst cities to date in were. And I picked Atlanta, Houston, and LA. Now, if you actually, and I want to, if you look down here on this side, this is the actual black man numbers per city, and based on the statistics, how many men are going to be aligned with that list. And you'll see in Atlanta, there are going to be only 3 guys that are going to be aligned to that list for you. Houston, roughly 7 guys you're looking for. LA, 5 guys. And DC specific, 4 men, right? That have all of these things that are going to be checking for you. Now, if you widen out, and this is what I do with my clients, and we focus on the DMV area, you 5x your chance in the DC area. But please understand, if you open up your actual net, your dating net, girl, then you can 10 to 30x your chances of finding your guy. So please understand, if you need help to navigate what your list should be, and based on deeper emotional needs versus what you want, book a call with me so I can help you navigate this. I wish you well.
This is about to be a tough topic for black men and women, right? Black women who have high-paying jobs, they tend to have a white counterpart. They tend to have a counterpart who makes less than them if they are a black man. That's just on a comment. I'm a nurse. I see it all the time. Like the surgeons I know, they all have counterparts who make slightly less than them. I even know a doctor who has a stay-at-home husband. She's a black woman, and she goes out and make the money. Like, that's the norm in a lot of situations with high-earning black men. And that's why I kind of understood where Tyler Perry was coming from. A lot of black men in those spaces, they tend to have more white people around them, white women around them, than black women. Bronny James. Bronny James High School is a PWI to the max. It was like, when they did like the ratings, it was like 2% black kids, and all those black kids were celebrity kids. In what world is Bronny James marrying a black girl? Like, let's be for real. So it's the same thing with them. They're in these high upper class spaces. The higher you go up, the less black people there are. I don't make the rules. It's just the reality of the world we live in. The higher you go up, the less black people you are around, right? At my 4-year school, where I got my bachelor's in nursing, bro, guess how many black girls are in that class? 6. Out of 120, it's 6. The rest of them are white or other. African-American, 2 black African-American parents. It was 6 of us, and we hung out like crazy. So I know these things. That's why when I say, It's not a lot of black people when you go in certain rooms. People get so mad at me when I used to go hang around the anesthesiologists, when I used to go peek on their floors, when I used to go see like the medical students in their floors. I used to always say it's not a lot of black people. People used to get upset with me, come for me in my comments. And I'm just like, I see this in real life. It's not a lot of us in these spaces. I witnessed this. I'm around this. I was there for 4 years. It's not like we had a medical unit, right? We had a medical unit for doctors. It wasn't a lot of people that looked like me there. Men who are successful, 6 feet over and highly and in those spaces, when it comes to black men, it's rare. And when I tell people this, even when I tell other black men this, they get mad at me. And they say, oh, black men are highly desired. Those black men are highly desired. Those black men are highly sought after by all races of women. Those black guys. And they tend to also be married. And if they're single, they are going through a divorce. But they tend to always be married. But I don't make the rules. Women, this dating coach is saying it. Women, the first thing they say when they sit down of all calibers, they say they want 6 feet and 6 figures. Those are the bases. Like, those are the bases they want. Like he said, it's so many women who come in my office and say 6 feet and 6 figures. And I have to tell them it's not a lot of that. Those men are 1 out of 33,000 black men. I'm going to say it for you one more time. 1 out of 33,000 black men are 6 feet and make well over 6 figures. 1 out of 33,000. And guess what? He also said that I was saying just now. They tend to already be married. And in big cities, it's worse. It's worse because you really have to compete for those men. Right? If you are a high-earning black woman, you are most likely to make more than your partner. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because high-earning black men are rare. Now, the average black man makes more than the average black woman. We aren't talking about the average. We're talking about high earning. This is why I get when they be like, oh, if you're a woman with a high paying job, you max yourself out. Yeah, you max yourself out for the average man because the average man ain't balling like that. Right? He don't got it like that. If you aren't in that small percentage of men, you need to be chasing these boss babes down the street because you obviously don't got no money, right? And you need to look up with somebody and get some money. But this is why the data pool is in shambles, because the women that men want are such a small percentage of men. Women are fighting over them. And those men are either married, have 1,000,001 side chicks, or they just... That's why a lot of women are going to be single by 2030 because they're going to want this guy. And a lot of women are going to say, you know what, if I can't get this guy, I'm going to stay single. And this is why the loneliness epidemic for men is just going to increase. The unaliving rates for men is going to increase. It's going to get real bad. It's going to get real bad. Men are going to go overseas because they can't compete with the women wanting 6 feet and 6 figures. It's going to get bad. This is why when black men say, oh, you know, you put your career first, you eliminate yourself as an option for them because you max yourself out the data pool. But yeah, I don't make the news. I just report them. Let me know what you think in the comments.